Hey friends, this is the Miss BevVolfie from our half-acre homestead. Well, I'm still seeing evidence of mice, so I'm taking matter into my own hands. I'm going to make a bucket mousetrap. Okay, so what you're going to need, I'm using a 5-gallon bucket. I've got Howie pick me up a couple because I have some other projects I got to do. But you're going to need a bucket. You're going to need a can with both ends on it. Both ends. So what I've taken is an evaporated milk can, and I took the milk out and put it in a jar in the fridge. You're going to need the bottom of a wire hanger, and you're going to need some kind of ramp. I'm using a piece of drywall because it's disposable, and we got lots, that's right. And you're going to need some peanut butter and a piece of paper. Let's get started. Okay, first things first, I've taken my can and I traced out a circle of paper around the outside of the can, and then I trimmed it so that it would fit inside the lid of the can. Then I folded it up, because the thing is you want this to be centered. So I folded it up into a little cone and then put it back in, and that gives us the center. And that center of the paper is right there, which will technically give us the center of the can. So I've got the drill here, and I've put the paper inside the center of the can, and I am just going to drill a hole in the center of the can. Now, we want the hole to be big enough for that coat hanger to fit through. So it doesn't matter if it's a little bit bigger. Oh, okay, that worked. Okay, let's see if our coat hanger fits through. I know what I'll do. I'll just make it a little bit bigger. It doesn't really matter how big the hole is, as long as it's bigger than the coat hanger and that it's centered. And this may, like I said, may seem like a lot of hoopla for a mouse trap, but they are driving me bonkers ever since I saw them falling out of the wall. That's a much better hole. There we go. Now the reason you want the hole bigger is so the can will spin. Now, we're going to take our bucket, and just above the hole where the handle goes in, I'm going to make another hole. And this hole you don't want too big. You want to be able to fit the coat hanger through. So let's see if our coat hanger goes through that hole. And so it does. And we also, the reason I've put the hole where I have is we want the top of the can to be just above the edge of the bucket, but not quite level. We don't want it necessarily inside the bucket. So let's drill a hole on the other side. Okay, I've left the other side of my coat hanger hooked so that I can feed the coat hanger through. Now we're going to put the can through the hanger. There we go. And now I'm going to feed the straight edge of the hanger again through the hole in the other side of the bucket, and I'm going to bend it down. Bend it down, bend it up, whatever. You just don't want the coat hanger coming out. Okay, so what we have here is kind of like a mouse wheel. Now you see why we wanted this solid, because this really turns really nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of our peanut butter, which is just all natural peanuts, and we are going to smear some all around the can. You getting the picture now? I saw, somebody told me to look this up on the internet. It's perfectly diabolical. It's just wonderful. Because someone who said, let's build a better mousetrap, I kind of like the idea of a mousetrap that will catch the mice, and I don't have to touch them. I just pour the bucket down the toilet and flush it. By the way, a little bit of meat in your septic system every once in a while actually helps things to break down. So you're going to see that the mouse is going to jump over there to get to the peanut butter and go right into the bucket. How is he going to get there? He is going to get there by our handy dandy ramp. And I've got this piece of drywall. Now you can use a piece of wood, whatever you want. But this just happens to have a surface that they are going to find fairly easy to walk across. And you want this to kind of overlap, so they're going to have to jump at that can. I got Daddy to cut the hook off my coat hanger, and I'm just going to thread this coat hanger piece through the side of the bucket like this, and then through the hole in my piece of drywall. Just to kind of hold it in place like that, okay? So that it doesn't necessarily slip and slide all over the place. Now we want the mouse to find its way to the can, correct? So again, we're just going to and I mean, you don't want to feed the little bugger. We're just going to put little droplets of peanut butter in a trail all the way up our ramp. So here we are in my pantry, and we have our little mouse ramp. I'm in the pantry because I hear activity in here. And if it's not diabolical enough for you folks, there's about 2 inches of water in the bottom of this bucket to drown the little buggers. I'm sorry folks, but you know, it's survival of the fittest here, and the mice are winning. We'll be back tomorrow to see if this has worked. And so it did. Yay! We built a better mouse trap. This is the Miss Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying I told you I was going to take matters into my own hands. Take care. Bye-bye.